Hello, boys and girls. My name is Miss Shy. What's your name? Well, hello there. I am so happy that you could join me today because today we are reading a story about going to school. And this story is called Skippyjon Jones Class Action, and it's written by Judy Schachner. Skippyjon Jones was just dying to go to school. And nobody, not even his mama, was going to stop him. But she did, by the scruff of his neck. "School is for dogs," stated Mama Junebug Jones emphatically. "They're unruly and drooly," she added dramatically. "Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. Plus, a bus full of dog breath would smell so atrocious. Good golly pop lolly, it's such a no-brainer. If there's a good dog, it's because of a trainer." His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Then she added, "You're Skippyjon Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that." "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I don't get the fuss. It's not like a pigeon is driving the bus." Then he climbed up his sister's kitty condo ladder for a peekaboo in the mirror. "Holy Julio," squealed the kitty boy. "How many chihuahuas am I?" he wondered out loud. Then he took a deep breath and, using his very best Spanish accent, he answered, "As many as your head can handle, hombre." "Oh, my name is Skippito Fresquito. I'm off to school for some burritos, 'cause I've got a good hunch that I'm going to lunch with the grand old bunch of puchitos." Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. "Listen here, messy missies," said Mama. "How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder?" "Skippyjon has it," said the sisters. "What for?" asked Mama. "So he can see the chihuahua in the mirror." The chihuahua, however, was already in his closet, boarding a bus for school. But the kitty boy wasn't the only chihuahua on board. His old amigos, Los Chimichangos, were going to school too. "Thank dog you made it, dude," exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Si, Skippito," panted Poquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. "We need your help, Coen Bolito." "Without a doubt, Pito," declared El Skippito. "But why do you need my help with the bully?" "Because he is a perro mezquino," declared Don Diego, "who barrenos around the escuelo in a tazalita." "He spins around the school in a tiny teacup?" exclaimed the kitty boy in a shock. "Sí, dude," added Don Diego. "He growls and howls and wears a suerte de lana también." "Not the wool sweater," said Skippito. "Uh-huh," agreed Poquito Tito, trembling. "He's a woolly bully." There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully, so it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic poofed out of the gatito's tail. And all that poofiness inspired the puchitos to sing. "Oh, poofy, poofoo, puchito. We know you can do it, Skippito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that old woolly bullito." But there was no turning back. The doggies had arrived at school. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First she blew, then she threw. "Go fetch," barked Mrs. Bagalot. Then every dog, big and small, chased a ball down the hall and into their classrooms, except for Skippito. He got carried along by the river of rovers and landed in art class, where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. "I've never seen a pup do that before," said Mrs. Houndler, the art teacher. Then he trotted over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. "Bow wow!" woofed Mr. Muzzletuff. "What a pair of ears!" After music came math, where Skippito stunned Mrs. McDruller with his counting skills. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. At the bell, the amigos followed their noses into the library. Not even a bowl full of frijoles smell as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I lick libros, declared El Skippito Fresquito, the great Redito. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fouset. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said the poodles. Fromage. Si, si, said Skippito. Queso. Queso cabeza, shouted the chimichangos from the rear of the room. I'm not a cheesehead, chimichangos, chuckled the gatito. I'm a chihuahua. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Pochitos in class with them, and Los Pochitos wanted to share what they have learned with their amigo. So the poopies sang, Come she, come sha, come chito. We have something to tell you, Skippito. When the poodles say we, they really mean si, so don't look for red hydrantito. After French, Los Pochachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. I'm not good at following rules, confessed the kitty boy. What dog is, dude? Quipped Don Diego. But just then, the gatito heard a gut-growling growl that shook the entire escuelo, perhaps the whole planeto. Holy heartburn, hollered Skippito. Was that my tummy? No, that is the bellow of the woolly belito, said Potito Quito with the shiverito. The gruesome grumble grew louder, and along with it came the rattle and plink of the terrible Tazalita. It was spinning wildly right under the nose, circling like a polka dot shark. Andale, declared Don Diego. Get out your duds, dude. But Skippito was too frozen with fear to unpack his mochila, so his amiga did it for him, helping to change their Chico El Skippito Fresquito, complete with mask, cape, and banana. Why the platano, dude? Asked Pintolito. It's my snaquito, replied the gatito. Will you share it with me and Tito? Yes, indeedo, agreed Skippito. Then woof chakalaka-laka, woof chakalaka-laka. Every dog leaped out of the case and latched onto the turbocharged Taza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the Chicos just hanging on by a tail. Estoy mareado, cried Skippito. You are not dizzy, dude. You're green, yipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of the dog-filled teacup cut a mean path of destruction past the principal's office and spun straight on into the lunch bunch like a bowling ball. Strikeito! Shouted the Puchitos. And strike it did. Smash, crackle, and pop. The twirling Tazalito crashed right into a table and broke apart, exposing the ferocious Fuzzy for what he really was, a teeny-tiny, itsy-bitsy, woolly-wearing teacup chihuahua. Dude, declared Skippito, you're no bigger than a Baquito. But the Baquito's only reply was a gut-gurgling growl greater than the hounds had ever heard before. Is that your tummy? Asked Skippito. Sí, replied the Bolito. Tengo mucha hambre. I'm hungry too, agreed the gatito. You can have my platano. This act of kindness made the chimichangos pull out their jump rope right in the middle of the mess. Peanut butter and belly buttons, chunky cherry pits. The woolly bully's taza has broken into bits. Wiggle waggle, jelly on the toast. He's not a woolly bully, he's just hungrier than most. Then out came the whistle. First she blew, and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase, except for Skippito. He wasn't chasing the ball, he was running for his life. First Skippy tripped, then he slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet and back into the arms of his Mama Junebug Jones. What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whistle Whiskers? Asked Mama. He broke my teacup, whined Jilly Boo, and he ate my banana, complained Jezebel. That's 'cause he went to school with the Chihuahuas, exclaimed Jujubee. Later that night, after every Fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater. Then he bounced over to his mama and gave her a beso, a kiss she felt straight through the layers of her quilt. Oh, good night, little dipper, said the very sleepy mama. Good night, mama, said the very sleepy kitten. Wasn't that a great story? You know what I loved most about it? Skippyjon Jones had confidence. That means that he believed in himself. He believed that he could go to school and hang with the big dogs, even though he was just a little bitty cat. So I want you to remember, when you go to school, be confident, because you can do it. Thank you for joining me on StorytimeMom.com. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.